What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we are in New Braunfels, Texas with the guys from Specialty Wraps. Now, if you go back a couple episodes, you're gonna see that they wrapped my Polaris and did the whole camouflage. It was freaking awesome. They killed it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very thankful of the way that Thurk and the guys at HD Motorsports did with the car and how it drives, the motor, everything. But they're not a body shop, right? And you guys have heard me talk about, the struggles that we had with that car when it was at the previous shop before HD, and how they pretty much ruined the car. We lost a lot of money with them. The guy scammed us. And before that, I had the car painted in Houston. It was pristine. It had a great paint job. I mean, the car was brand fucking new. And when it went to that other place and the guy, before he scammed us out of money, not only did one of his employees decide to scratch his name on the top of my car with a keychain, the car was just in there and it got scratched up. There was paint chipped. I mean, the car looked like crap. And I know a lot of you guys can't see it or didn't see it on the actual videos, but every time that I walked into the garage and I saw my car, the only things that popped out to me were the chip in the front door, the chip in the back where they scratched it. HD had done paint correction on the car, but it wasn't enough. Like, they really jacked up my car, and so it bothered the crap out of me that it was like that. So I talked to the guys here at Specialty Wraps, and I was like, hey, is there anything that we can do so that I can wrap the car and just like make it look better, or make it like just something that I'm gonna enjoy? And I was like, because you guys knocked it out of the park with my Polaris, can we do it on the car? And they were like, absolutely. So we're here today. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna talk to Eric, and Eric is gonna install the last 2 or 3 pieces that's left on the car. And then once that's done, I get to drive it home. So let's go inside, let's watch him do what he does. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And if you've never seen a car being wrapped, this is pretty much it. So come on, let's go see him inside. Oh, dude. Yeah. So like before, everything was chrome, like, the chrome bumper and everything. Oh, that looks awesome, dude. That looks super cool. Hell yeah.
We just went ahead and did everything all satin black with that 3M material.
Dude, oh my. I mean, yeah, like you can still see it from here to here.
Yeah.
Like the difference from the...
And then we did that slightly, just body work on the trims, like right on the edges.
Yeah.
We got rid of all of that. That way, whenever we wrapped it, you didn't have nothing like hard or rush.
Okay. Dude, that looks, oh my God, dude. Wow.
And then we also removed the whole the whole front bumper.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really wrap the one underneath all the way in here, so we end up plastic dipping all of this. That way it matches with the rest of the wrap.
Oh.
Same with this, we plastic dipped this,
Yeah.
and we plastic dipped just the surroundings of your headlights, just because we couldn't really wrap those in only one piece.
Wow. I feel like now I gotta order different headlights, like the
halo ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that way they have like the actual halo ring around it.
Yeah. Damn. And so now we just, you just gotta do the top?
Yeah, now we just gotta finish the rooftop and the last piece of the trunk.
The older gentleman, so I was chasing this pronghorn, I mean, giant pronghorn. And he went from public to private, and I was like, fuck. And so my buddy that was with me, he goes, look, and he's a cop there, so everybody knows him. So I was like, hey, let's go knock on the door and see if they'll let us. And so we go knock on the door, and this gentleman comes out, and I was like, hey, sir, we're wondering, if it's okay. We're chasing this one pronghorn. He's on your property. Can we get on your property and shoot it? And he goes, go ahead. He's like, but I got one rule. And I was like, yes, sir. He goes, I want to see it. And I was like, okay. So he lets us on his property. We go 800 yards, fucking, we pop him. Got lucky, he stopped, we popped him, brought it back. He was like, oh my God, that's great, blah. And I look over and this car was just out in the field. And I was like, oh, it's a beautiful Chevelle. What is that, a 66? He goes, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's pretty. And he's like, oh yeah, you want to see some cars? And he had a barn full of cars. And I was like, oh shit. He was rebuilding a first gen El Camino. And he said he ran out of money. And I was like, well, why don't you sell me the Chevelle? And he goes, oh, I don't know, but give me your number. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, let me know, because in 4 months, I got to come back out here and do a mule deer hunt. And he's like, okay. And so he called me like not even 2 hours after we left. And he's like, you really want the car? And I was like, yes, sir. And he goes, all right, this is how much I want for it. And I was like, okay, I'll be back. Yeah, no, without a doubt. So I love this car, man. I love driving it. It's like my weekend car, or sometimes during the week as well. And honestly, every time I would come out and I see it in the garage, it's just like, I'm like, fuck, man, the paint.
Phillips.
I'm like, the paint. And
it keeps on going towards the paint.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck. And so that always kind of, and then finally I was like, you know what? When I brought the Polaris and I had it at the house, my wife was like, why don't you have them wrap your car? And I was like, oh yeah. All right, guys, so there it is. The car is wrapped. Daniel keeps saying that this looks like the Batman vehicle. I don't know which one he's talking about, because I stopped watching Batman after they did like 100 of them. But it's done, man. I couldn't be happier. Honestly, this looks way better than it did before. I mean, shout out to the guys at Specialty Wraps for doing this. Man, it's night and day. I can't wait to take this to a car show and watch everybody, their jaws just drop from the way that it looks. But I'm not gonna quit boring you guys here. I'm gonna jump in my car and get out of here, because it's about 100 and something here in Texas. And honestly, I just want to get around the road and see what people do when they see me, because it used to turn a lot of eyes back then, even with the crappy paint job that I had. Now that it's wrapped and it looks like money, yeah, I got to get on the road. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, again, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification so that you know when we're posting new videos. And for those of you that have been here on the channel for a long time, we'll see you next week. Until then, crispy on.